Remember, Jack, you're my number one guy.
Here's your lucky deck.
Don't forget your lucky deck.
But Mom,
Believe it.
I want to watch you do the painting.
Jack,
That's it.
I want to watch you do... What was it?
Jack, I want to watch you do the paintings. Something like that. I don't know.
We're, of course, quoting Jack Palance, or Jack Palance as some people call him, and Jerry Hall from their scenes from Batman 1989, directed by Tim Burton. Hi, I'm Ethan McKinley, and this remarkably gentle intro to the new show, which is number 36 of the 2-Minute TerMINator, where we break down the TerMINator films 2 minutes at a time, is brought to you in the middle of the night, so I can bring you a Friday show on Friday.
Ooh.
Across from me is Ellie Fitzgerald, my eminent co-host, who I couldn't do this show without.
Good Abend.
This is Radio Ellie, not television. There's no need to salute because no one's watching you but me, and I don't
I'm
care.
saluting you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whilst you fiddle with your balls again.
Wow.
Question.
It's a hot day.
Some hot balls. Jerry Hall. Do you think she's hot?
No.
She looks like she should be though, doesn't she? But she's kind of not.
She was okay in a day, but she's not my thing.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think her daughter Elizabeth Jagger is like her, but better.
Yeah.
And the one that gets all the attention, Georgia May Jagger.
The one with the huge gap in her teeth.
You think she's okay and you go, oh.
I don't like the gap.
The gap's cute on some girls.
My ex, Nick, loves it.
Oh, does he?
Mm.
You should speak to my ex then.
Oh, really? Has she got one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just mouthed the words, by the way.
Right. The only person that can get away with the gap in their teeth is Arnold Schwarzenegger, which kind of brings it nicely back to what we're doing, even though he's not in the film. Ethan?
Because this is 2-Minute Eraser.
Hit the music.
Yeah. Oh.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
Oh, please.
And we're back. Hi, everyone. This is Late Night Radio with your host, Ethan McKinley, and his co-host, Ellie Fitzgerald. It is the 2-Minute TerMINator. We are going from minutes 70 to 72, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. It starts with Common, the rapper, shooting a very large rocket launcher, last seen in Rambo 2, written by James Cameron, shooting the said rocket launcher at Blair Williams and Marcus Wright, which we will get to in a minute, because it's one of the biggest cock-ups and continuity errors in movie history, not just this film. And it ends, of course, with the lovers escaping into the spotlight. Very much like a First World War kind of trenches film, doesn't it? It looks very much like that, doesn't it? It looks like the Berlin Walls coming down and they're all in
Quiet on the
long
Western Front
coats.
or something like that.
So, yeah, take it away, Ramsbottom.
It's Spackle Bucket. Yeah, my first point was I thought that the rapper Common seemed a little brutal in his decision to be
Why is
like,
that?
she's made her choice.
So, like, she's escaping and made a choice.
It's like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
She could have fallen into that well.
Do you think, like, the powers that be came down hard on him going, you let her what? You gave her a gun?
Probably.
Of course she tricked you, stupid boy.
A woman made you look like a right numpty.
Yeah.
And he's
you
like,
dropped
right, that's
me
it.
Right in it, Blair
Right
Williams.
in it, thanks. So he's like, right, she's dead. Who's that? Get rid of her. Yeah, so I thought that was a bit harsh.
Do you want to go straight to the...
Then again, I'm sure Common in his lifetime has probably pulled some pretty interesting stunts just to get a chick.
Yeah, I've never fired a rocket launcher at a woman.
No, but what I mean is
if we're using it as a metaphor, I have.
but he's getting at her because she's like betrayed him, but because obviously she's running after Marcus because she wants a piece of metal.
Do you think
dick.
he was sweet on her and he feels rejected?
Maybe. The way they were talking earlier, he was kind of like giving her the look. He's a Batman, of course he wants to fuck him.
Do you say Batman? Because we started with Batman.
Yeah.
Of course, excellent. High five. We love that movie. Thank you, Tim Burton.
Right. Fire in the tunnel scene.
Oh, no, I flushed. It's fine. You're not... you're talking about the scene. Okay. Yes, the fire in the tunnel scene. I'm not a physicist.
Seems legit.
I don't know anything about structural engineering. I don't know anything about military hardware. I mean, some of our listeners do, of course. But I can't imagine shooting a rocket launch from 30 feet away into a tunnel with 2 people in, simply by wrapping someone in your overcoat will
First of all,
will
he must have
protect
fireproof
you.
clothing.
And hair.
Second of all, hair is like one of the most flammable things on this planet. What else did I get down there? I was like, this is ridiculous. Your skin. Like, if you think about it.
It's also the way they shoot it, because it's like the way the fire just stays in the tunnel for like an hour before it like.
And also, I swear to God, they were running, and then he threw her to the ground, and she was facing forward, so she should have gone face down.
I just think it's completely stupid.
But when he looks up, she's underneath him, and she's looking up into him. It's
Well, I can't think of
almost like a
another
sex
film.
scene.
Oh, I know what it is. In Batman Forever with Val Kilmer, when he wraps his cowl around himself when Two-Face shoots a rocket
Val
launcher at him.
Kilmer, actually, he must be the worst Batman.
And he presses this button, and something happens to his cape. It looks like it gets wet or liquidy, and it protects him from the fire.
Well,
Anyway, it's very much like that. But like, yeah, a dirty robot overcoat man covering a Polynesian woman is not a recipe for
good cinema.
anti-flammability.
No, it's ridiculous. And she's got a hell of a lot of hair.
She's got a hell of a lot of hair. She'd be like running out of there with her hair on fire. In fact, no, her skin would be flayed off her body instantly.
And him.
Do people think the further away you stand? Do people think the further away you stand from fire, like it gets cooler?
No, but you do. Oh, excuse me. What was that fish?
The lovely bumper music. If you can barely hear it in the background, we're not going to turn it up. It's John Williams' score. Sorry, John Barry's score for Out of Africa, 1984, with Meryl Streep and Robert Redford, who are both still alive.
Oh, sorry. I've come across all yawny. So they escape through those weird tunnel things. And then we're back at the magnetic minefield. She gets out this, like, it's not... what is it? It's not a ball of twine. Quite obviously it's not a ball of twine, but that's what I put in my notes. It's some kind of, like, reel of, like, wiring or something.
Detonator cord?
Oh, is that what that is? Because as I say, first of all, where the hell did that come from?
Well, she had the plastic explosive on her, so maybe it comes with a detonator
in what,
cord.
Though? We all know as women, women's clothes, either jeans or jackets, the pockets are so puny and small, you literally can't fit anything in them. She's not got a bag on her or anything. Where she pulled this detonating cord from?
I don't know. Out of her pockets.
And also...
Well, you know, in the last episode when she shot the plastic explosive with a gun, I'm going to Google that. Can you blow up plastic explosive by shooting a gun in it? I think it only works. That's movie physics again. I think it only works if you pass electrical current through it. That's why it's like safe to carry and stuff.
Okay, so here we go. So she throws that along.
This is not a very funny episode, by the way.
Is it meant to be funny?
No, it's just because we're trying to be quiet, because we're going to wake everyone up.
But anyway, I don't understand how this works. So they're just running through. What's the detonation cord for?
I don't know, but they're essentially in like no man's land. That's what it reminds me of, like a First World War movie, because he's in that long trench coat. It looks like
she's
the
like,
bit
I've got
in
a
between
plan.
trenches.
I've got a plan. Which apparently runs out at the Jeep. Why you take a woman on an escape mission, I don't know. Because he asks her here. He goes, "What now?" And it's like, you're a Terminator.
Well, he's not a Terminator.
You're half Terminator, half man. You had a pretty clear mission earlier that you needed to rescue Carl Reese from Skynet, and now he's asking her what to do.
He's got Terminator abilities, but for all intents and purposes, Marcus is human.
Yeah, but why would he ask her what we doing next?
Because he has no idea what's going on. He's been thrust into this like post-apocalyptic wonderland.
Yeah, but he also just told bullshit Bale that he needs to rescue Carl Reese from Skynet.
No, he told Carl Reese that he was in Skynet and he was going to go and rescue him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think John Connor still wouldn't have ever let him go. So he's.
I know, but that's what I mean. Why is he now asking what to do? Why not say which way's Skynet? Not what do we do now? That's not a very manly thing to say.
Well, if you were locked up in a dungeon,
if I was in that situation and a man turned to me and went, "What do we do now?" I go, "Oh God."
Well, never worked for anyone other than Seller.
He's got a smaller dick than me.
Well, no, he's just walked out. He doesn't have no idea where he is. Remember, he got blown up. He was taken.
At what point does Skynet kick in?
He got blown up. He was taken to the base, I guess, by Blair Williams after having his legs blown apart by that like magnetic.
But even when he didn't know where he was going before, he was a lot more sure of himself.
No, he was just wistfully wandering the wasteland like a man walking the rails.
And plus, considering he can't really be killed unless he got like blown apart by some bazooka or something. I don't know. I just thought it was a bit. He just seems a bit lost. A for a man and B for.
Okay, I know what she's done.
What's she done?
She's rolled the detonator cord across a minefield so she can escape. That's the very minefield that had the thing stick to his leg.
But it's a magnetic minefield. Why would an explosion cause all the mines to kick off? It needs
it's
metal.
It's not an explosion. She does something to activate the mines because the.
Oh, is the cord made out of metal?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. Not normally. Detonation cord is the thing that connects your switching device to the explosives.
Boldner, we need you now. If ever we needed you, it's now.
Yeah, minute 70 to 72. She rolls a primer cord across the field. I know what she's done that to like make clear a path in the mines.
Also, sorry.
No.
When they get to the Jeep, because that was her plan to get from A to B. Ab-fab. Ugh, God, hated that.
I never got that either.
Rubbish. I hate Dawn French.
Jennifer Saunders.
Yeah, it's Dawn French and oh no, that's something else.
You're thinking of French and Saunders.
I am thinking of French and Saunders.
Ab-fab is
but
Jennifer
no,
Saunders.
Ab-fab was terrible anyway.
And Joanne Lumley.
It was the family, wasn't it? And it was the old woman and the young girl and.
Well, no, they were just
Absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I know.
It is, but it was like middle-aged to older women, like acting like teenagers.
Who were constantly pissed and smoking.
Yeah, and
rubbish. But yeah, never liked Dawn French and Saunders either. I hate Dawn French. She's an absolute monstrosity of a person. Anyway.
Whoa.
And she got upset when Lenny Henry cheated on her with this like ridiculously hot, like I don't know if she was a model or whatever. It's just like, Dawn, look at you, you're a mess.
Well, it's not just that. Sometimes marriages, people get bored, don't they? There's actually a really good book called Sex.
I doubt that was boredom.
People aren't meant to be really monogamous in our nature.
No, of course not.
We've been sold a false bill of goods.
Men and women, like, I don't know how anyone has ever made a relationship really last, because it's as Patrice said, and it's not something I'd ever really realise until listening to his podcast, but now it does all make sense. Because it is, if you go back to the animal kingdom, the whole idea of a male is he spreads his seed to as many chicks as possible so that he's got a higher chance of his bloodline and his genes passing on.
No, not just
a
that.
woman looks for a man to settle down with and
when
have
you
kids
have
with.
When you have tribal societies, and even we have groups of chimpanzees, everyone has sex with everyone. So everyone, all the children that are being raised, you don't know who's yours and who's not. So everyone takes care of everyone. It's only in the last few hundred years that we've kind of had this idea of like one person with one person from fairy tales and books and stuff. So we're all trying to fit into this like box and deny this kind of like simple thing that humans or primates have lived by for millions of fucking years.
Do you reckon one day Disney will like portray like polyamorous like relationships and?
Well, I think one of the men was gay in Frozen, weren't they? So there was something in Frozen that one of the characters was gay and stuff.
You've seen Frozen?
Huh?
You've seen Frozen?
Yeah. I've seen Frozen. Let it go, let it go.
If any chicks ever did listen to this podcast, their pussies just froze.
That's all 10 female listeners. What was that? Nothing.
God, that's terrible. God, that's
Sorry, we're having to be quiet, listeners.
I don't know what. Maybe she was already in bed.
I don't know.
I'm so confused. But all the lights are out in the house. How can you not even hear if someone comes back in the house?
Who knows?
Anyway, sorry. I digress. It's a really weird scene. It's coming up in a second. So when they've run from the tunnel to the Jeep, all of a sudden Marcus goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he grabs her face again. She goes, yeah, I'm okay. Really weird scene. Really weird. And her acting is terrible.
Who? Blair?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just really. I don't know why they include. Right, so you can't actually hear it because the bumper music's going. But just going to turn it up here. This bit. Yeah, I'm okay.
Also, when this Jeep explodes,
That would set off the mine, surely.
they're not killed again.
But why can't I? 1 minute I can turn the volume down and up on the. I don't get this whole 3 fingers, 2 fingers bollocks. Yeah, I don't really rate Moonface's acting skills at all. What else have I got in my notes? Yeah, I thought that with the car being blown up, obviously the metal components actually hit the ground. I thought that would set the mines off like there was no tomorrow. Blood. It's like Armageddon. So I thought that was a bit of inconsistency.
I still can't see how this cost £200 million, because according to this, as of 2010, this film remained the most expensive, independently financed, non-studio feature film with a budget of 200 million. Where's the money gone?
On those All Saints jackets.
Yeah, but like, dial this back 6 years. What is it worth then? 250 million or something? It's one of the most expensive films of all time, and there's like just dirt in it and a couple of huts.
Just dirt. It's a very brown film, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I think the biggest failing of the film. One of them, at least,
I
one
guess
of the
it's
main
a bit
ones.
like Aliens 3. It's all a bit brown, a bit dreary, and it's just kind
But
of
that
depressing.
kind of worked. For all its
Yeah.
faults, I think Alien 3 is still a good film.
I don't.
No?
No.
I mean, it doesn't stand together with the other two as in terms of quality.
I think the only two people that I really liked in it were Ripley and the dude that dies. The one that's in...
Black guy.
No, I thought he was one of the worst. It's so stereotypical, man. It's just like...
All right, who are you talking about then?
The Doctor.
Oh, Charles
The guy
Dance.
that was in Last Action Hero. That guy. I thought he was great. And this is going to make me sound terribly racist, but I really don't mean it in this way. Why is it that when you get these films, you have to have... So they're all white. There's one black guy, and he's the one that's just like, no, I'm the peaceful, like, church-going fucking dude.
They're not. They're
don't-
usually shooting people.
Don't rape this woman. It's just like, for God's sake, it's so obvious what they do.
Not really.
We need to break that. Like,
I didn't notice that.
yeah, but you're all like PC as hell.
Oh, the back of my knees are sweating.
Sure, the listeners really want to
Who
hear
are?
that. Nichols, is that exciting you? Ethan's got sweaty. What are those? What are the backs of your knees called?
Don't know. Knee palms.
Knee pits.
Knee pits. My knee pits are sweating.
Knee palms. Napalm. Explosions. Comes back to the film. Boom.
Yeah, no, it's a strange 2 minutes. This is because I think he puts his hand out. Is that for a distraction? He assumes he's not going to get his hand shot.
This was literally my next point.
And
What
she's
is
trying to
this scene about?
Well, he's basically distracting. You've not watched this, have you?
No, I've got the notes down here.
All right. Well, he's trying to distract the sniper so she can use the Desert Eagle stolen from Common to shoot out the light that the
Which has
sniper
already
is
run out of
using.
bullets, by the way.
Oh yeah. Wait, we didn't have bullets in
She
the
does.
first
She
place.
does one shot. Like, what's the point in that?
I don't know. I'm as confused as you are.
And also, considering all these people and John Connor's men know that they think he's fully Terminator and that he just believes that he's human, why bother shooting him with those kind of guns? What is that going to do?
Because they're the only things available to them. They don't have the laser guns yet. Remember, this is the start of the future war.
Dude, that guy just shot a fucking bazooka down the tunnel.
Right.
Shoot that at him. That's going to kill him. Or terminate him.
Yeah, but they're still downstairs. All they've got basically when they get outside is the sentries, which probably just have signal flares and...
And yet they can work out a signal that will actually shut down Skynet systems, and they can't afford some better cavalry.
They can't. No, they can't.
And
Dude, this is
weaponry.
like a ragtag bunch of rebels.
So then how are they able to discover something that can turn, like, that they can tap into a frequency that will shut off?
Because you have different departments within any war or any conflict situation where you've got varying degrees of technology. You've got varying degrees of technology in this house. Downstairs, like here, we've got this amazing Apple Mac, and downstairs you've got a shitty old toaster. But that's my point. There's different
I've
levels
got
of
that toaster.
there's different levels of technology in
What you say
various
about my
states of
toast?
development, and also different parts of technology get developed faster. And other things like mobile phones have come a long way in like 10 years versus we're still flying around in like chemically powered petrochemical aeroplanes, which haven't changed since the 60s. But that's to do with people who own the monopolies on fuel and things, kind of keeping things that way, so they can just keep selling fuel. Where you can
I
probably
don't know. I just thought it was a bit ridiculous because
Why-
all they're going to achieve by firing at them is just by killing Moonface, and she's not the real
Yeah,
perpetrator.
but it's like,
is
all right,
she?
you say like, let's say like Area 51 has amazing technology and it being developed, like stealth technology, and then you've just got men with machine guns and radios guarding it.
Oh, I know, but the reason that they don't make that common knowledge is because they don't want people to be completely in the know, because
Yeah,
what
but
they
Ellie,
do is
I mean,
it's all
it's-
about
again,
control, isn't it?
you've got a small group of people. You have a limited amount of resource you have to share between them. So what exactly is your point? Of course, the sentries outside this kind of missile silo that they're using as their headquarters, be it temporary or
I
otherwise.
just would have thought. I'm not saying that they're going to have like laser guns and stuff, but I just think that they would have
They're
bigger
prob-
weaponry.
I know, but there's probably only 2 rocket launchers in the entire place, and they have to use
Alright,
it for
but
a
I didn't know
special
that.
occasion. Common might,
Why are you getting so upset and offended by this? I'm asking questions.
Because you just, I don't know, it's a bit of a silly question. Because if you,
This is a silly film.
yeah, but this is the whole point of this podcast is we like go into this stupid minutiae of like they might only have 3 or 4 rocket launchers in the entire place. They must be very careful how when they use those rocket launchers, absolutely when it's necessary.
So what? It's not necessary to use a rocket launcher now.
But you have to bear
The
in mind.
Terminator is running away.
But again, as I said, let's say you've got 2 sentry guards. So you've got 2 towers maybe.
The 2 towers, Lord of the Rings.
You've seen that they've got a rocket launcher because they fired it at the Jeep. They might only have 1 rocket launcher topside with maybe 1 or 2 rockets.
Okay, well then you've answered my question.
To stop an individual threat like a Terminator coming into the camp. They've got someone leaving. They've just been radioed by downstairs. They've got a limited, as I said, number of guns, resources that have to be shared out between people. You've got 2 sentries. He's probably only got about 4 or 5 magazines and a couple of guns or
All
1
right.
gun.
They've got plenty of planes. We've seen those.
The planes might come from somewhere else.
Well, I hope they do in the next 5 minutes, because otherwise I'm out.
Because remember, you've got the command center on the submarine. I think the airstrip where the planes come from is actually from somewhere else.
And the one shot she takes, I mean.
This is like a secret underground facility, really.
And where's all the lights coming from?
Because again, after this night in the future episodes, they're actually at this kind of like airstrip where they're all kind of like, that's where they're all set up basically. And that's when you see the A-10 Warthogs, the helicopters and things that they launch their attack on Skynet from. That's where John gets taken from when he goes, I'm going to Skynet to go and find this Carl Reese dude. His airdrop and stuff is all launched from that area. This, I think, is a completely different place. This is like a secret base where they just like holding up and underground. So they'd probably have a limited amount of resources, as I said. Thank you.
Moving swiftly on. What have we got? Where have all the bullets come from? Oh, 2 more points I've got left on this. 1, again, she's now risking her actual like life for this dude that could quite potentially turn around in a minute and just break her neck.
Yeah, but she sees something in Marcus that perhaps no one else does. She might be wrong. In real life, I imagine it would turn out to be wrong, and he would just kill her when he gets her alone somewhere, like The Thing.
And then the final bit in this scene, the bit that made me smile was she got shot. I was like, yes, they got Moonface. But it's one of those puny things. It's almost like out of scary films where they like twist their ankle and they like break their leg. Oh no!
She probably just went, "What am I doing?"
Well, maybe she's playing like damsel
I've had
in
my
distress.
heart broken before. 100% I got a twisted ankle, so I have to follow this robot man into oblivion. Beloved oblivion.
But my hair still looks amazing, even though I probably haven't washed in days. And I don't have my curling tongs anymore.
Yeah, you need to watch The Road, man. That's the only truly apocalyptic film I've ever seen. I've gone, ugh, it really wouldn't be cool, would it? If the world was going to end.
Do you really think it would be cool?
No, but it's a bit like...
They make it look pretty cool in Mad Max.
No, but it's a bit like zombie films, isn't it? Everyone is drawn to this idea or concept of the zombie film where kind of like everything's gone to shit and you can kind of like live lawlessly and you can kill people with impunity because they're already dead, so you're not actually killing anyone, so you probably still go to heaven if you believe that sort of thing. Everyone has this dark fantasy of like this zombie apocalypse. That's why zombie films are popular, I guess. We've got this dark nature to ourselves.
I'm not massively into zombie films though.
But I'm not talking about. But they keep making them, Ellie. All the genres right now, horror-wise, are vampires on top.
I wish they were. Vampires are way cooler.
What film are they pumping out more than anything in that genre? It's usually like possession-y ghost films, like The Conjuring or Paranormal Activity, blah blah, or it's zombie films. You don't see loads of werewolf films. You don't see loads of like Axeman movies. You don't see.
That's what I prefer. I much prefer the kind of like occult stuff and dark and magical
I
and
know,
shit
yeah.
like that, as opposed to just.
But again,
zombies.
does that not tell you the appetite for that is somewhere deep in our psyche that we are weirdly fascinated?
Oh, right, it's inconsistent, as are zombies.
It's very consistent, but I think that's.
I'll quote Partridge, you knob. What? Why you got bits of biscuit on your face?
I don't know. I just think all films kind of glamorize kind of the end of the world. Mad Max certainly does. They make it like everyone's in leather and they've got cool cars and things. Whereas The Road is literally just a man just pushing a broken trolley with all his worldly possessions around an awful, ruined world.
Sounds like a terrible film.
No, it's like it's just bleak as fuck. It really is.
You're really saying it. It's about as bleak as your description.
It's really bleak though. It's just like ugh. It's not a film you'd want to watch and go, oh, let's go bowling or let's go skipping in the woods.
See, again,
Life's
I don't
great.
like films like that. When you walk away and you're like, ugh, I don't feel good for watching that
This
film.
is that on steroids.
Okay, I'm not watching it. And they are literally all the notes I've got.
Well, that's all I have to say also. Thank you all for listening, everyone. Sorry if it wasn't really laden with laughs or bad impressions by me, or a more energetic approach perhaps to the podcast, but just in case, in the interest of several people nearby who are keeping our voices down. But I like to think it's kind of like a late night radio.
Yeah.
We're going to play out with some Lionel Richie now all night long. Have a safe journey. Have a good night's sleep, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Love you, baby.
Oh, you wrapping it that quick?
All right, go on, do your bit.
No, I mean, until you press that button, I can pretty much say whatever I want.
Okay, I'm going to really slowly reach over now. So,
Slowly.
go.
Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm Ethan McKinley. We'll be back with another episode. Oh my God,
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my scene.
Shut the fuck up, would you? Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
And I ain't walking on this set if you're still hired.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
I'm fucking serious.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my scene. What don't you fucking understand? 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 Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass.